During World War II, although Argentina did not directly participate in the frontline battlefields of Europe or Asia, the country was not idle. In addition to some volunteers joining the Allied forces during the war and serving as a refuge after the war, Argentina also studied new battlefield technologies. The DL-43 American Tiger medium tank was one such attempt. There is not much technical information about the American Tiger medium tank because it was not a very successful tank and it was not widely equipped. However, it was just an attempt at domestic production of tanks in Argentina. Although Argentina did not directly participate in World War II, it was still very concerned about the development of the battlefield situation. When the United States developed the M4 Sherman medium tank, Argentina also became interested in this tank. Under the technological conditions at the time, the overall performance of the M4 was indeed quite good. In 1942, Colonel Alfredo Bicey began designing a tank after visiting the M4. It should be noted that the design concept of the American Tiger tank was indeed influenced by the M4, but it was not simply a copy and paste. It can be considered as a genuine Argentine design. The overall layout of the tank was similar to the M4, with a 500 horsepower engine transmitting power through a drive shaft to the front gearbox, and then driving the front drive wheel. The tank suspension was also very similar to the M4's vertical spring balance suspension. Of course, except for the engine, components such as the tracks were designed and manufactured by Argentina. The tank's armor used welded steel armor and introduced a sloped arrangement. The front and side armor of the vehicle were sloped, with the thickest part being 80 millimeters on the front. The turret was a conical welded structure rather than the cast structure of the M4, which was related to Argentina's industrial strength. After all, there are not many countries that can handle cast turrets up to now. The tank's firepower was not strong, with a main gun being a 1909 Krupp 75mm mountain gun obtained from World War I, suitable for supporting infantry but not very useful in tank battles. There were multiple auxiliary weapons, including 4 Madsen machine guns. The American Tiger tank weighed about 35 tons, was 6.22 meters long, 2.33 meters wide, 2.952 meters high, had a maximum speed of 40 kilometers per hour, a maximum range of 250 kilometers, and had a crew of 5 people, including a commander, driver, gunner, and loader. Compared to the standard M4 medium tank, the American Tiger medium tank still had many immature aspects, such as the lack of a commander cupola and only 2 simple hatches above the turret, with no anti-aircraft machine gun. In 1943, the DL-43 American Tiger medium tank began production in Buenos Aires, but it was more like a small workshop processing rather than actual production. By the time production ceased in 1945, only 12 vehicles had been produced, in addition to an early wooden model. Of course, one reason for the cessation of production was due to Argentina's geographical location, as the threat from neighboring countries was not very serious, and there was no need to establish an armored force as exaggerated as the major European countries. Furthermore, Argentina's industrial production capacity was not very good. In 1945, as World War II came to an end, both Britain and the United States began to consider post-war economic reconstruction. Britain was the first to propose offering second-hand M4 Sherman medium tanks to Argentina at a low price, which dealt a fatal blow to the production of the American Tiger DL-43 medium tank. For Argentina, the DL-43 American Tiger medium tank was a somewhat unsuccessful attempt. Although they had the M4 to use as a reference, Argentina's capabilities at the time were still unable to solve key issues such as the main gun and power system, not to mention the vertical stabilizing system equipped on the M4, which exceeded Argentina's technological capabilities. In terms of production, Argentina did not have a large demand for tanks and could not export them. They were unable to establish a large-scale tank production workshop, and the fragmented production resulted in high costs, unable to withstand the impact of cheap foreign goods.